Well, I did quite a lot of research, and I read about LINX for quite long. From pretty much as soon as we met, we kind of established quite early on that if there was an issue, that the fix was most likely going to be surgical. Like you mentioned, we did look at the stretcher, but because of the hernia, that wasn't an option. It wasn't going to help. The fundoplication, everything I'd read about those was it was quite an aggressive surgery, and usually not given to people my age, which again put me off. Also because of the amount of kind of changes to the area around your diaphragm. I was really worried about anything that would cause any differences or changes to my voice. Because obviously when you're singing, you pull from a lot of different muscles. And if everything feels different, you'd have to relearn all of how to support and how to use your voice correctly, which would be really difficult, and it would take a really long time. So it was really, straight away, I was very put off by that. We looked at LINX. Also with the LINX, I know it's a little bit less scientific, but it seemed to make sense. When I looked at how the surgery worked, it just seemed to make sense. Obviously, it's like, I've got a problem that I have a small hernia in my hiatus, great. So you close that, right? The stomach is trying to pull up through the hiatus. Okay, so then this ring will hold the esophagus shut, which is what the problem is, and hold it down. So to me, straight away, I was like, that's logical, that makes sense. So, and then the more I read about it, and the more I saw kind of the results of people who'd had the same thing done, and how fast the recovery was, and it just, I mean, everything I read about it, it made a lot of sense. Everyone was super friendly. I had a really great nurse in the hospital called Jake, who looked after me the whole day. He was super friendly. You know, I felt in really safe hands. Like, I didn't for a second, you know, I wasn't nervous. Everything was just like clockwork, you know, straight in, sat down, getting ready, straight on my bed. Okay, we're going to take you through. All right, this is the anesthesia. Yeah, all the things just bump, straight through. It was, you know, then I woke up and it was done. It just felt like it happened so fast. The first, I think it was 3 days, are kind of where the majority of the pain is. You've got, and it's, I believe it's the pain from when they inflate you, to be able to see inside. That's the bit that's painful. I think from my own experience now, my recovery's been so fast that you get over it really quick. So for me, it was like within 2 weeks, I was like, oh, I feel really normal. This is actually really good. So you think like you're going to write this, you know, this super elaborate blog about all these like hardships and how hard and difficult the recovery process was. I'm going to tell you all the things that happened. 2 weeks in, I was like, oh no, I had to remind myself that I had surgery because I felt so different and so good. I stopped taking the painkillers after about the second day because I didn't need them anymore. So that was when you start to really like pay attention to what's going on. I didn't use, I mean, as a contrast, the night before I went in for the surgery, probably, I mean, I was taking like 4 or 5 Gaviscon sometimes at a time. Like I was having a lot of Gaviscon because it was the only thing that would kind of set on my stomach on a night time. And I haven't, like, since then, it's been 5 weeks, I haven't had one, not a single one, which is crazy. I mean, not only was I spending a fortune on Gaviscon, but obviously to eat 5 of them at a time is really not good for you. But like I said, it was that kind of desperate, the only thing that worked. I mean, all those muscles and things have been burnt for a really long time, so they're going to take a few weeks to go back to normal. But I mean, I spoke to a friend a few days ago on the phone, and he asked me, why did my voice sound different? Because we haven't spoken for a few weeks. And he said, why does your voice sound different? I said, what do you mean? He says, it sounds really different. He says, it sounds like, you know, it sounds more resonant. He says, have you done something? Oh, I said, oh, I had my surgery the other day. She said, God, I can't believe how different you sound. And we toured for a long time together. So we know each other's, you know, it's something he would recognize.